Have you ever felt that your words lack power? What do you want? Something with intensity? It seems that the universe ignores you. Imagine for a moment that there is a secret code, an ancestral language so powerful that it could emphasize your reality from its foundations. 5 words. Only 5. So simple that you could consider them insignificant, but so powerful that, according to discoveries of modern neuroscience and the theories of Carl Jung, they could completely transform your existence. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I will reveal these 5 words that have transformed the lives of thousands of people. Words that, when they are pronounced with intention and feeling, activate specific regions of your brain, alter your body chemistry, and attract to you what you have always wanted. We are not talking about magic, but about science applied to conscious manifestation. Are you ready to discover how language can become your most powerful transformation tool? Follow with me, because what you are about to discover could be the key you've been looking for your whole life. The power of words transcends what we commonly understand. They are not mere sounds that come out of our mouth or abstract concepts floating in our mind. Words are condensed energy, vibrations that interact with the very tissue of our reality. When Carl Jung, one of the parents of analytical psychology, explored the collective unconscious, discovered that certain symbols and archetypes have a universal power, crossing cultures and times. These archetypes, these primary images, are activated by language. There are specific words that function as master keys, opening doors in our subconscious that would otherwise remain closed. They are like access codes to deeper levels of our existence. Contemporary science reveals that every word we pronounce has a direct impact on our biology. Studies conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto demonstrated how words can alter the molecular structure of water. Considering that our body is composed of approximately 70% of water, imagine the impact that your words have on your own biology. You may ask yourself, can something as simple as 5 words transform my reality? The surprising answer is, absolutely, yes. And today I will show you exactly how to implement them in your daily life to manifest everything you have always wanted. We live in a world where we have been taught that reality is something fixed, immutable, something that we should simply accept. They tell us, this is life, is what there is. Find out with what you have. These phrases, repeated as social mantras, have programmed our mind to accept limitations that do not really exist. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success without apparent effort, while others constantly fight without achieving significant advances? Is luck, destiny, or is there something deeper at stake? The answer can be found in the internal language we use and how this perception of reality literally molds. Neuroscience has shown that our brain does not distinguish between what is real and what we imagine with emotional intensity. Each thought, every internal word, creates specific neuronal connections that reinforce our worldview. Think about it in this way. If you constantly say, "This is impossible," or "I will never achieve it," you are creating a neuronal circuit that will filter your experience of reality to confirm that belief. Your brain, that wonderful machine of 86 billion neurons, is designed to seek evidence that supports what you already believe. It is the famous confirmation bias that psychologists speak so much. Every morning you get up and, without knowing it, you activate a mental program that determines what you will see and what you will ignore during your day. It is as if you used virtual reality lenses, scheduled by your own recurring words and thoughts. The real problem is that most of us use a language that limits us instead of empowering ourselves. We pronounce words of doubt, fear, scarcity. I can't afford it. This is too difficult. I'm not good enough. Each of these statements is like a command that we schedule in the super-oring of our mind, instructing it to create exactly that limiting reality. Quantum physics has revealed something even more surprising. The observer influences what is observed. This means that our consciousness, our thoughts and words have a direct impact on the behavior of matter at the subatomic level. When we understand this principle, we understand that our words are not only descriptive of reality, but creators of it. And this is where the central problem lies. We use words unconsciously without understanding its creative power. Day after day, moment by moment, we are expressing a reality that we may not want, simply because we are not aware of the power that our statements have. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research has shown how people can transform chronic diseases simply changing their internal dialogue. Patients with conditions considered incurable by traditional medicine have experienced complete remissions by consciously modifying their thought and language patterns. In Mexico, there is a rich tradition of healerism that has recognized for centuries the power of words as healing tools. The ancient Toltecs talked about how our words are seeds that we planted in the garden of our mind, determining what will grow in our lives. Let me share the story of Lucia, a woman from Monterrey who faced a devastating economic situation. After losing his job during the pandemic, he accumulated debts and his self-esteem collapsed. His language was full of expressions such as, "I will never leave this," "The economy is terrible," "There are no opportunities for someone like me." Lucia attended a workshop where she learned about the power of the 5 words that I am going to share today. At first, he was skeptical. How could simple words change their financial situation? But he decided to try, committing to practice daily for 30 days. What happened later surprised even the most optimistic. In less than 2 months, Lucia had found not only a new job, but had started a small parallel business that generated additional income. His debts began to reduce, and most importantly, his self-confidence flourished as never before. What changed? It was not the outside world, but its inner world. He modified the language he communicated with herself, and this literally altered the neuronal connections in her brain, allowing him to perceive opportunities that had always been there, but that his previous mental programming prevented him from seeing. Another fascinating case is that of Miguel, a university student from Guadalajara who fought with severe social anxiety. His internal dialogue was dominated by phrases such as, "I don't fit," "Everyone judges me," "I will never speak in public." These words had created an invisible prison around them, limiting their academic and personal potential. Miguel began implementing the 5 words of power, integrating them into a daily practice of 10 minutes every morning. At first, he felt as if he were lying to his own brain, but he persisted, trusting the process. 3 months later, Miguel voluntarily offered to present a project in front of 200 people. Not only did he do it without experiencing a panic attack, but he received an ovation standing for his clarity and confidence. His teachers could not believe the transformation. What these most cases and hundreds demonstrate is that the fundamental problem is not external. They are not the circumstances, the economy, the others, or the bad luck. The real problem is that we have been using a language that creates limitations instead of possibilities, that focuses on our attention on what we do not want instead of what we want. The good news is that this can be changed, and the change begins with 5 specific words that, when used correctly, have the power to reorganize all your nervous system, your perception, and, as a consequence, your external reality. The first powerful word that will transform your manifestation capacity is, "I am." This seemingly simple phrase is, in reality, the most powerful statement in the universe. When you pronounce "I am," you are activating the very center of your identity, the essence of who you think is. Every time you say "I am," followed by any word or phrase, you are planting a seed in your subconscious that will inevitably bloom. In your experience, it's like programming the GPS of your life. If you constantly repeat "I am incapable," your brain will create a neuronal network designed to confirm that belief, filtering opportunities and focusing on failures. From the Jungian perspective, "I am" connects with the archetype of being, that divine and perfect part that exists in each of us. Carl Jung believed that our words had the power to activate these primitive archetypes, these universal forces that shape our experiences. Modern neuroscience confirms this, showing that when we pronounce "I am," followed by positive statements, we activate the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain associated with the higher executive functions, decision-making and future planning. How can you use "I am" to express your wishes? The key is to complete this phrase with what you want to be or experiment, not what you fear or want to avoid. Look at the difference between "I am prosperous" and "I am not poor." Although they seem to point to the same, The first sentence focuses your energy on prosperity, while the second keeps your attention on poverty. Carlos, a businessman from Mexico City, transformed his business by changing a simple statement. For years, I had unconsciously repeated, "I am bad for sales." After learning about the power of I am, he began to declare every morning, "I am a magnetic communicator that perfectly connects their products with the people who need them." In 3 months, its sales increased by 78%. What changed? Not its products, not the economy, but its self-concept. By modifying who believed to be, he altered his behavior, his nonverbal communication, his trust, and as a result, his results. The second word of power is choose. This word activates your personal agency, your innate ability to make conscious decisions instead of automatically reacting to circumstances. Most of us live in a state of reactivity, responding to external events, without considering that we have the power to choose our response. Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist and survivor of the Holocaust, wrote, "Between the stimulus and the answer, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response, our growth and our freedom lies." When you consciously incorporate the word "I choose" in your daily vocabulary, activate the frontal lobe of your brain, the headquarters of your conscious will. This simple neurological act takes you out of the autopilot mode and places you in the driver's seat of your life. Instead of saying, "I have to work," which generates a feeling of obligation and resistance, proves to say, "I choose to work because I value financial independence." Note how your emotional experience changes immediately. Ana Maria, a single mother from Puebla, transformed her relationship with her teenage son using this word. For months I had been saying, "I have to endure" this difficult stage, which created resentment and distance. When he changed to, "I choose to understand my son during this stage of transformation," not only his attitude was modified, but the dynamics between them significantly improved in a matter of weeks. From the Jungian perspective, choose activates the archetype of the creator or magician, the one who has the power to transform reality through acts of conscious will. Jung believed that recognizing our choice capacity was fundamental for the individual process, the way to become those who are really destined to be. The third powerful word is create. While choosing emphasizes your decision-making capacity, creating magnifies your generative nature. Your innate ability to make something exists where there was nothing before. The verb create connects directly to your identity as creative being, as an extension of the creative force of the universe. Carl Jung spoke extensively about how humans are cooked in our reality, active participants in the deployment of the cosmos, not mere passive spectators. When you say, "I believe my reality," or "I am creating abundance in my life," active, specific regions of your brain associated with visualization, imagination, and manifestation. Neuroimaging studies show that the act of vividly imagining almost the same brain areas as the act of really experiencing. A powerful technique is to combine the previous words, "I am creator and I choose to create," followed by what you want to manifest. This combination activates multiple power centers in your neurological system. Roberto, an Oaxaca artist who had suffered a creative blockade for 2 years, began to declare every morning, "I am a creative channel. I choose to create works that inspire and transform. I believe beauty from my unique experience." In less than a month, he completed a collection of paintings that became his most successful exhibition to date. The fourth word of power is now. This word anchors you in the present, the only time you really have power to manifest changes. The past no longer exists except as memory, and the future has not yet arrived. There is only the present moment, that point of infinite power where creation occurs. Most people live mentally in the past, ruminating errors and regrets, or in the future, worrying about what could go wrong. Meanwhile, the real moment of power now goes unnoticed. When you consciously incorporate the word "now" in your statements, you activate the state of full presence. Now I choose peace. I am abundant now. Now I believe my best life. These statements anchored in the present have an immediate power that future statements do not possess. Quantum physics shows us that time, as we experience it linearly, is actually a mental construction. At the subatomic level, there is only one eternal now, a field of infinite possibilities that collapse in concrete experiences through conscious observation. Jung talked about the concept of synchronicity, those moments in which apparently unrelated events coincide significantly. These events occur more frequently when we are present, when we fully inhabit the now instead of wandering between the past and future. Elena, an executive from Guadalajara who suffered from chronic anxiety, transformed her mental health by implementing the practice of declaring, "Now I'm at peace, now I'm sure, now I'm exactly where I need to be." This simple practice, consistently repeated during moments of stress, reduced its panic attacks at 90% in just 2 months. The fifth and final powerful word is gratitude. This word activates an emotional and neurological state that literally magnetizes your desires towards you. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful emotion for manifestation because it places your vibratory frequency in resonance with what you want to attract. Science has shown that the state of gratitude activates the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest and digestion functions, reducing cortisol, stress hormone, and increasing dopamine, serotonin and oxytocin, neurotransmitters associated with happiness, connection, and well-being. From the Jungian perspective, gratitude connects with the child's archetype, that part of us capable of marveling, of experiencing astonishment and appreciation for small things, of living in a state of abundance perceived regardless of external circumstances. The most powerful way of using this word is to declare, "I feel gratitude for," followed not only what you already have, but also what you want as if it were already in your life. I feel gratitude for my healthy and vibrant body. I feel gratitude for my prosperous business that positively impacts thousands of people. This act of early gratitude sends a powerful message to your subconscious and the quantum field. You already have what you want at an energy level. Only its manifestation in the physical plane is missing. Jorge, an athlete from Tijuana who recovered from an injury that doctors considered career-ending, end of career, implemented a daily practice of early gratitude. Every morning and night he declared, "I feel deep gratitude for my perfectly healing body that allows me to compete at the highest level." Contrary to all medical forecasts, Jorge recovered completely in the middle of the expected time and returned to the competitions, achieving his best personal brands. These 5 words, I am, choose, create, now, and gratitude, form a complete neurological and energy reprogramming system. They do not work separately, but as an integrated set that fundamentally alters your relationship with reality. Now let me show you how to integrate these 5 words of power into a daily manifestation protocol that I have called Conscious Manifestation Pentalog. This protocol is designed to be implemented in 2 key moments of the day: when awakening, when your mind is especially receptive to new programming, and before sleeping, when information transfer to the deep subconscious is facilitated. The Pentalog consists of 5 powerful statements that make up the 5 words we have explored. I am an infinite being with the power to express everything I want. I consciously choose to create the life of my dreams at all times. I believe my reality through my thoughts, words, and actions aligned. Now I live in abundance, love, and full realization. I feel deep gratitude for all present and future blessings in my life. These statements must be pronounced out loud with total conviction, and most importantly with the corresponding emotion. Emotion is the fuel that enhances your words, transforming them with simple sounds into manifestation commands. The key for this protocol to work is consistency. Your subconscious and your nervous system require repetition to establish new patterns. Commit to practice these statements for at least 30 consecutive days to notice significant changes. In addition to the morning and nocturnal pentalog, I recommend integrating these 5 powerful words into your daily language. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, how can I apply the 5 words to this situation? For example, in the face of a labor conflict, you could declare, I am an effective communicator. I choose to see this situation from the highest perspective. I believe harmony in all my relationships. He now experienced clarity and solutions. I feel gratitude for this opportunity for growth. The consistent practice will allow you to access an accelerated state of manifestation, where your wishes materialize with surprising speed and precision. This is not magic, but the result of aligning your neurological, emotional, and energy system with your deepest intentions. A crucial element to maximize the power of these 5 words is what I call complete sensory incarnation. This means that by pronouncing your statements, you must consciously activate all your senses, creating a vivid, multisensory experience that your brain interprets as real. For example, by declaring, "I am prosperous," visualize in detail how that prosperity is seen in your life, what sounds associated with it, what physical sensations it produces in your body, even what flavors and aromas accompany it. This complete sensory activation creates a much more powerful impression on your neurological system. The scientific reason behind this is fascinating. When you vividly imagine an experience activating all your senses, your brain does not completely distinguish between that intense visualization and a real experience. Similar neuronal patterns are activated, releasing neurotransmitters and hormones as if you were really living that situation. A study with pianists showed that those who visualized in detail playing a musical piece activated almost the same brain circuits as those who physically touched the piano. This mental practice was almost as effective as physical practice to improve its ability. Applying this principle to our pentalog, each statement must be accompanied by a complete sensory immersion. You not only pronounce the words, but you feel them. You experience them in each cell of your being. Isabella, an entrepreneur of Veracruz, implemented this sensory incarnation technique when working with the 5 words. By declaring, "I am a successful businesswoman," she visualized her ideal office. She felt the texture of her executive chair, listened to the sound of calls and productive meetings, even imagined the aroma of her favorite perfume while closing. Important agreements. In 6 months, Isabella quadrupled her income and expanded her business to 3 new cities. What had visualized with such precision materialized with surprising accuracy, including specific details he had imagined during his practices. Another fundamental aspect to enhance these 5 words is what Carl Jung would call shadow integration. This Jungian concept refers to recognizing and accepting those parts of us that we have repressed or denied, which often unconsciously sabotage our manifestation efforts. In order for your statements to have total power, you must identify the limiting beliefs and subconscious patterns that could be contradicting your words. For example, if you declare, "I am prosperous," but internally you house the belief that money corrupts or wealth is selfish, these energy contradictions will neutralize your intention. A powerful technique is what I call dialogue with the shadow. Después de pronunciar cada declaración del pentálogo, pregúntate, ¿qué parte de mí no cree esto? ¿Qué objeción interna surge? Escucha atentamente las respuestas que emergen y respóndeles con comprensión y compasión. For example, declaración. Yo soy abundante en todas las áreas de mi vida. Dialogue with the shadow. What part of me resists this truth? Possible internal response. I don't deserve abundance because I have not worked enough. Integration. I recognize that belief and observe it with compassion. I choose to free it and replace it with the truth that I deserve abundance simply because it exists. This integration process gradually eliminates internal resistance, allowing your statements to resonate with your whole being without energy contradictions. Manuel, a Merida therapist, used this shadow integration technique with extraordinary results. He had been working with the 5 words for weeks without seeing significant changes in his professional practice. When implementing the dialogue with the shadow, he discovered a deeply rooted belief. If I am too successful, I will become arrogant like my father. By recognizing and working with this limiting belief, Manuel's statements began to demonstrate quickly. In 3 months, its customer waiting list grew to the point of needing to hire 2 additional therapists. The combination of these 5 powerful words with the complete sensory incarnation and the integration of the shadow creates a virtually unbeatable manifestation system. It is like accessing a source code that reprogram not only your conscious mind, but also your subconscious and your energy field. Remember that this work is not instant. You are dismantling and rebuilding neurological and energy structures that have been formed for decades. It requires patience, persistence, and self-pity. There will be days when statements will flow naturally and others in which they will seem empty or false. Everything is part of the process. The fundamental thing is to maintain the practice without judging you and without rigid expectations. The manifestation occurs at its own divine rhythm, sometimes in surprising and unexpected ways that our conscious mind could not have planned. Allow me now to offer you some practical applications of the Pentalogue for specific areas of your life for health and vitality. I am a radiant health manifested in flesh. I choose to nurture my body with love and consciousness. I believe vitality through each breathing and movement. Now, perfect health experiment in each cell. I feel gratitude for this wonderful body that serves me perfectly. For financial prosperity, I am a magnet for abundance and opportunities. I choose to perceive and take advantage of financial growth possibilities. I believe wealth that benefits everyone involved. Now, I live in a state of growing prosperity. I feel gratitude for the constant flow of resources that come into my life. For harmonious relationships, I am an unconditional love in action. I choose to see the divine in each person I find. I believe deep and significant connections. Now, I experience perfect relationships in all areas of my life. I feel gratitude for love that flows towards me and through me. These are only examples that you can adapt to your specific circumstances. The important thing is to resonate with you, that you feel a genuine emotional connection with the words you pronounce. The 5 words of power, I am, choose, create, now, and gratitude, are tools that have existed since ancient times in various spiritual and philosophical traditions. Carl Jung would have recognized them as manifestations of the collective unconscious, present in all cultures, because they connect with universal truths about our nature as conscious beings. What makes our time unique is that we now have scientific understanding to explain how and why these words work. Neuroscience, quantum physics, and modern psychology confirm what the ancient wise intuited. Our words literally create our reality. I invite you to integrate the Pentalogue of conscious manifestation in your daily life for the next 30 days. Look at the changes that begin to manifest, not only in your external circumstances, but in your internal state, in your perception of the world, in the quality of your daily experiences. Remember that consistency is key. Do not look for immediate or spectacular results. Look at the small changes, the synchronicities, the unexpected opportunities that begin to appear. Each small manifestation is evidence that the process is working. The true power of these 5 words lies in their ability to transform you from the inside. Beyond the material manifestations, you will experience a deep reconnection with your essential nature, with your innate power as a creative conscious of your reality. Carl Jung wrote, "Until you do the unconscious, this will direct your life and call it destiny." The Pentalogue allows you to do exactly that. Take conscious control of your internal programming, freeing you from the autopilot and becoming the intentional architect of your experience. Are you ready to claim this power? To use these 5 words as keys that open dimensions of possibility that you may not even imagine. The moment is now. Not tomorrow, not when the circumstances are perfect, but right now. I invite you to, at this precise moment, you pronounce with me the complete Pentalogue, impregnating each word with emotion and conviction. I am an infinite being with the power to express everything I want. I consciously choose to create the life of my dreams at all times. I believe my reality through my thoughts, words, and actions aligned. Now I live in abundance, love, and full realization. I feel deep gratitude for all present and future blessings in my life. Feel the power of these words reverberating in each cell of your being. Allow them to activate the manifestation codes that have always existed within you, waiting to be recognized and used. I deeply thank you for dedicating your time and attention to this trip of discovery and empowerment. Remember that these 5 words are yours to use, to experiment, to integrate into your being. Go back to this video when you need to remember your power. Share it with those who are ready to awaken their nature as conscious creators. And above all, he practices. Practice with patience, curious, with the astonishment of a child discovering a new game. The life you have always wanted is not in a distant place, in a hypothetical future. It is here, now, waiting to be manifested through the power of your conscious words. I wish you a joyful and transformative manifestation trip. Until our next encounter, remember, your words create your world. Choose wisely.